I like to move around normally, but if anyone's wondering, it was a torn Achilles, it was a basketball accident, etc. So we're here anyway. So guys, really quickly, we're going to talk most talk. You don't have the answers, youth-driven program design, which is something that we've been talking a lot about in terms of engaging and doing what we can to, again, see some other sides from our young people and see some other sides of our programs, hopefully, as well. So before we get going, we have a special message from the You Don't Have the Answers ambassador. Can anybody guess who that is? Nobody? Okay, watch this. Okay, watch this. We're gonna do it right. Everybody say, you don't have the answers.
You don't have the answers.
Okay, all right, that makes sense in a second.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Anybody ever feel like that?
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't been doing the education. You ain't been doing the education.
You guys ain't been doing the education. All right. Give it up for Kanye, y'all. Give it up for Kanye. So now that we've established that you don't have the answers, everybody say it one more time, you don't have the answers?
You don't have the answers.
All right, so we're going to figure out what exactly does that mean, right? Because nobody in this room, if we've all figured that out, nobody in this room has all the answers by themselves. So we've got to figure out ways to incorporate what our youth want from our programs in a way that's going to make sense for everybody, okay? And if you don't, then you run the risk of walking into a room full of young people and they look at you like this. Anybody been looked at like that lately? It's like you walk in, it's like, all right, so let's keep moving. So why youth-driven? Why youth-driven program design? So there's a couple reasons that you guys want to keep in mind, okay? So number one, it's to fight this phenomenon called age compression. Age compression is a phenomenon that researchers I would say discovered or really sort of started researching a couple years back, close to 10 years ago. And it really talks about how young people today, by virtue of technology and all these different information gateways that they have access to, are now more intelligent, but that doesn't make them more mature. And what that means is we have to just be very careful about the sorts of information and the sorts of programs and whatnot that we put in front of them, because just because they have more access to information, it doesn't mean that they're more mature. So making sure that they have a say in the program is absolutely important. Increasing engagement. We've talked a lot about, and we've heard other speakers throughout the workshops, the other most talked presenters, we talked a lot about building trust in our groups as it pertains to our young people. So trust and engagement go hand in hand. It's really hard to build trust if you don't build engagement. It's really hard to stay engaged if I don't trust you. So youth-driven program design will help you with increasing engagement in your programs. You'll gain valuable insight into what's going on in the lives of your young people, what's going on in the lives of those who are coming to your programs day in and day out, okay? You increase buy-in, which is, again, back to the trust piece. And again, increase self-esteem and empowerment. If my voice is heard in a program that I'm a part of every single day, that helps me build confidence. Because believe it or not, our young people are in schools every single day where sometimes they're raising their hands and they're getting told, put your hand down. I have an idea, I have a question, put your hand down. I don't want to hear it. Now's not the time. Now's not the time. No. They're hearing no, and they're hearing this rejection all the time. So this is a great opportunity for us to engage via a youth-driven program design model. Okay? So what it doesn't mean, disregarding evidence-based or data-informed programming. There's lots to be said for research-based and evidence-based, and those pieces have to be included in programming. Okay, so we don't mean disregard that. We don't mean to ignore, or for you guys to ignore tried and true methods. If you have something that's been working time and time again in your program, keep doing it. But so it doesn't mean disregard it. Okay. It's simply, and it doesn't mean thinking that our young people have the answers either. Everybody say, you don't have the answers, Sway.
You don't have the answers, Sway.
So it's also not thinking that our young people have all the answers either. And again, that's going back to the age compression. They might think they do, but Lord knows, especially shout out to all my parents in the room, they don't have all the answers, not yet. And again, it doesn't mean dumping your data. I know that we live in a data dump, you look closely, it's like a bunch of computer chips and bytes and stuff up there, so that's like dumping your data. So don't mean dump your data, okay? Data is still good, it should still inform many of your program decisions, but it's not the end-all be-all. There is a very large push to recognize and to start capturing more of the qualitative piece as opposed to solely quantitative. You guys are aware of this, right? Just as important. So don't do this, okay? Don't do this, right? Don't approach your program from a parenting standpoint. I know this is something that I learned a while ago, running youth programs, et cetera, right? Is to come with the expectation of the idea that I need to be running this program like maybe I run my own household. Or maybe running this program or leading these young people the way I would lead my own kids. Yes, you come with the same compassion and the same insight, et cetera, but these kids might be different from your own kids. They might have their own challenges, et cetera. And what my man is saying here, right? So what did you learn on the first day of school? My man says, not enough, I gotta go back tomorrow. So I know some of you guys are thinking that too. Like, man, that's what whoever sent you to the conference is gonna ask you guys that when you came back. What did you learn at the most conference? Okay? Or this. Can I get a volunteer real quick? Can I get a quick volunteer? Not everybody at once. Let me get somebody. Front table right here. Who's coming up? She looked at me. She got a Zoom man. Volunteer. It'll be fun. Come on up, Ian. Make it quick, Ian. We're in a time push. Level up. He's with the sports group, guys, so I expected a sprint, Ian. No, that was messing with you. Okay, so don't do this, okay?
How are you walking?
It's a miracle, man.
I thought you had that thing on.
Okay. All right, so you guys stay there. Okay? Don't do this in your youth program design, okay? Okay, pick a hand, Ian. Now you get to keep whatever's in this hand. Okay? You ready? Okay. Show everybody what you got.
Quarter.
25 cents, everybody. Give him a hand. Anybody want to guess what's in this hand? A quarter. Now you can keep that 50 cents too. Everybody give Ian a hand real quick. Let me explain what that was. Thank you, Ian. So what that was, guys, was the illusion of choice. That was the illusion of choice, which is what a lot of times happens in program design. We lay out options, right? But if we've selected all the options, it's really the illusion of choice. So that's also not youth-driven program design. If I lay out a bunch of options that are all identical in nature, and then I say, hey, you just get to pick one, it's like we still win, and sometimes our young people lose. So just a little illustrative example. Okay? So how do you do it? Just some quick insights, because this is supposed to be a quick talk. So how do you do it? What are some pretty easy ways, okay? You gotta ask, if that's a hint for you, okay? This is an example of an actual program survey that our group instituted probably a couple years ago at this point. But literally what it is a 3-question survey that we'll ask before starting with a group of young people. Or sometimes we'll just do it midway through. And it simply says, hey, what have you liked or disliked about after school programs you've attended before? And you'd be shocked at some of the responses. This one, you can't really read it up there, but it says something to the effect of, we don't like when folks come in and we can sense that they don't really care that they're here for extra money. You said, whoa, well, this is like a 13-year-old, okay? What topics would you like to learn more about during an after-school program? They might shock you, right? If you can look up there, somebody said something about history. There was something on there about computers. So these are sorts of topics that young people are looking to learn more about, and it might not have been an original part of your plan, but it doesn't mean it can't be incorporated later, okay? So how else do you do it, right? So surveys, either anonymous or in person, paper, however, whatever that looks like, but simply ask your young people, what is it that they would like to learn more about? And I went to the other questions on this survey too, were what topics would you like to learn more about during the after-school program? And then the third question, by the way, was what would make you want to attend a program like the one that you described? Or what would make you want to attend that program? So how do you do it? So again, surveys, that can look like a roundtable discussion where you just bring in groups and have a conversation. Hey, what do you guys think of the program? One of the other things I talk about pretty often is the fact that we don't do enough to do 360-degree surveying and assessment of our programs, meaning have the young people assess the program, have the staff assess the program, have the leaders, the directors, the owners of the program assess the program. We can't just assess it from top down. We also have to make sure that we're assessing the program bottom up which is closely linked to, again, surveys, whether in-person or anonymous, as well as discussions. We got to ask for feedback in order to consistently improve things. Anonymous feedback, just simply have them write down, hey, write down what you like and what you dislike, have them write it down and stick it in a box. Solicit educators at the local schools. So again, whatever relationship that your program might have, if it's housed at a school, or near a school or in a community, etc., let's make sure that we're having those regular conversations with the staffs at the schools. Okay? As parental units, ask for your parental units, the parental units of your young people. That's a shout out. I got any Conehead fans? Show my age, Conehead parental units. Shout out to my Conehead folks over there. Okay? And again, making sure that we're leaving room in our programs. We might have come with a pre-established agenda, we might have come with a pre-established program, but making sure that we leave room to incorporate those elements that those young people have brought up and brought forth. That's, again, a very, very effective way to build trust and therefore engagement in your programming as you're going forward. The moral, you gotta be flexible like this guy. Any volunteers? Can I get a volunteer up front to do? Okay, we'll leave that for the next time, okay? So the verdict, guys, say you don't have the answers, Sway. Oh, that was real weak. We can't get out of here until we get a better one. You don't have the answers, Sway.
You don't have the answers, Sway.
Okay, let's get out of here. Thank you, guys.